friends, welcome to my daily little affairs. My name is Dusty and I'm so glad you could join me. Today I'm going to make lip balm. It's organic and all natural and you can make it too. I'm also going to change the sheets on my bed, so thanks for coming along on that fun little chore. And for tea time today, always gotta have tea time, we're going to have apple crisp and it's so good. It's kind of a fall recipe and right now it's springtime, but I don't care. I'll make any recipe anytime if it sounds good. So thanks, come along, join me, it'll be a good time. Going outside? Hey friends, I'm making lip balm today. So I have to get them all prepped by taking the lid off and then the little sanitary lid on the inside. And I'm gonna be making my own lip balm. I like to use it for myself. My family and friends use it. My husband uses it. I make him beard balm, which he loves. And I also like to make lotion bars. My friend Sharonda got me started on a lot of it. I had bought a book a long time ago about how to do some of this stuff and just never really did it, even though I was interested. So she took it because I'm like, oh, I'll never do it. And then she's like, oh my gosh, I tried this and it was great. So then it got me started. So today I'm gonna make some lip balm. I also have an Etsy store, so when people buy something from my store, a lot of times I include a little lip balm and lotion bar as kind of a little extra thank you for it. So yeah, come along with me, learn how to make lip balm. All right, in making lip balm, I bought at like a thrift store a little pan, so I don't use my good cooking pans. And then this is my spatula and my measuring cup. And these are specifically just for when I do my lip balm and lotion bars. And I need to put the ingredients in here really low. I'll stir them and melt them, and then I'll transfer it into here so I can pour these with the spout into the little containers. So we'll start with this first, our pan. And I have, because I like to reuse cigar boxes, so this one is full of beeswax beads. I think I bought a 5-pound bag or something like that. So it's 1/3 of a cup of the beeswax beads. And then 1/3 of a cup of coconut oil. And this is organic coconut oil. I bought it at the grocery store. And coconut is wonderful stuff. You can use it for body lotion. You can use it to condition your hair, condition your skin. I've found for myself that if I use too much of it on my skin, it makes me itchy. I'm not sure why. So, unless maybe my skin's so dry it doesn't know what to do with it, I don't know. But anyway, so there's the coconut oil. This is all equal parts. 1/3 coconut oil, 1/3 beeswax, and then the other 1/3 will be shea butter, which I never had used shea butter before this, and I absolutely love shea butter. It's amazing. And this was bought off Amazon. It keeps a long time, and it's really good stuff. So, and you can kind of see it's already kind of soft. You could about use it just like it is as a lotion. But the coconut oil and the beeswax gives it an added extra layer. If you wanted to, once this was all liquefied, you could add some essential oils. Since it's a lip balm, you would want maybe vanilla or peppermint, you know, something like that that would be good on your lips. I've found for myself that when I tried to add the essential oil, I don't know if I just wasn't using a good quality essential oil, but to me it didn't make any difference. So now what I'm going to do is cook this down very slow. I have it turned on, like, not all the way low, but somewhere, like my stove goes from low to high, which the low is like 0 and the high is like 10. So I have it set between 2 and 3. Don't know if that helps you any, but also I have found, because once this is hot and all melted and you put it in this is cold, it will solidify too quickly. So what I do is I heat my teapot and pour it in here about a minute or so before I put this melted liquid in there so that the cup heats up and gets nice and hot. Then I'll wipe it out with a paper towel so I get most of the moisture off of it before I pour in my mixture. And then that way they're almost the same temperature, and it doesn't tend to solidify in the glass as fast. So I have longer opportunity to pour into my containers. You can see the coconut oil has a low melting point, so it's melting pretty quickly. The beeswax has the longest melting point, so it will take the longest. You'll get to the point where you'll just see like still little beads of ripples in there floating from the beads, and it's still got a ways to go because you want to make sure it's fully melted. Nice and smooth. See, we've got all the coconut oil melted, most of the shea butter. There's little bits and pieces of the shea butter left, but now it's mostly the beeswax we're waiting on. And you want to do it low and slow so it doesn't burn, because then you will have ruined all your oils and wasted your time. All right, this is about smooth, so I'm going to pour in my hot water to heat up this mug. So it'll be good and hot. And it's almost done, almost smooth. You can still see a faint impression of the pebbles from the beeswax, which is good. Stirring it gives me a little bit of time while this heats up so that it will be nice and hot to accept this wax and not harden in here when I want it to harden in the little containers. I'm going to wipe it with my paper towel because I don't want that water in there, but I just want this nice and hot. So now I can pour this in there, and you can see it's nice and liquid. I might be able to get it all in there. Right, let's see how far this goes. I have 36 containers. And I don't know, you need to leave a little bit of room for the inset that goes on the top. So I don't have to fill them all the way to the top. You can have a little bit more though. Oh, looks like we're gonna need to make more because I still have 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So, and there was 36, so that meant this filled 14. So I'm gonna need a smidge more than what I made before in order to finish filling these. So back to the stove. There you go, these have been sitting about an hour. You can see they're nice and solidified. So I can put the little security or little nice little sanitary one, and then the pretty lid. And there you go. Got a lip balm, and this is where I store them in my craft cabinet. So now I just have to put the lid on all of these and stick them in here, and then I can save them. But yep, so there you go, homemade lip balm. And it is amazing stuff, so give it a try. And these little containers can be found on Amazon. The beeswax can be found on Amazon. The coconut oil, you can get that on Amazon or in the grocery store. And this is a recycled cigar box. So that I can't help you with. So there you go. Time to change the sheets. I have a friend here that wants to stay. It never fails at me. Realizes when I either want to change the sheets or make the bed that that's his new napping spot. And it's like, no, you're gonna have to move so I can make the bed. Sorry, buddy. I'll find you a better spot. My husband and I each have satin or silk pillowcases because it's better on our skin and hair. His is black and mine is green, mostly so we can tell apart whose is whose. Come on, buddy. I know. I know. Time to find a better spot so I can change the sheets. And I put him in the guest room. It's not a very sunny day, it's kind of cloudy, but the window has the most light, so I stuck him there. We'll see how he feels about it. I try and change the sheets the first of each month. So, and I only have 3 sets of sheets. I would like one more set, so there's kind of one for each season, if you will. This one's gray, which makes me think winter. I'm getting ready to put green ones on, which is good for spring. I have orange ones, which make me think pumpkin spice. So I just need something for summer. I'm thinking maybe blue. Blue like the ocean. That would be good. I like these pillowcases because they zip, so that way your pillow doesn't kind of come undone, come sliding out. Being that they're satin, they also stay nice and cool pretty well, which is also nice. I like sleeping on a cold pillow or cold sheets, just as long as they're not too cold. And I got all these pillowcases and the sheets. Well, actually the sheets came from JCPenney's because I had a sale. And then the pillowcases, they came off Amazon along with the bedspread. Goodness sakes. There we go. Being impossible. Yeah, it's kind of a rainy day. Good day for chores. I'll take a cloudy day even if it's 74. Better than 54 or heaven forbid 34. One of my favorite things about living in North Carolina. Really short winter. Yay! Okay, let's put on some clean sheets. This is my fitted. Nope, not my fitted sheet. Well, there's the pillowcases. I don't need those. So that's okay, I have a project for those. One of my YouTube videos, when I was doing sheets, a viewer let me know that when there's a tag, that goes in the bottom right corner. So like this, the bottom right corner of my bed, to help you know which side's the short side and the long side, because I could never tell. And lo and behold, she was right. Not saying that she wouldn't be, but it was just like, wow, nice to learn a tip like that. Where's my, there it is. So, thank you for the tip. That was wonderful. Instead of having to play the game of stick it on the bed and find out, oops, wrong side. Now I know every single time. So, nice. And I don't know about other people, but I love crawling into a fresh bed, freshly made bed, not having everything all cockeyed and wonky. There it is. Trying to find the part of the sheet that goes on the hem. Where's my center? So I can put it in the center of the bed. There we go. And yes, I'm one of those weirdos that I will do a hospital corner. Wow, you're really off. There we go. Get it more even. There we go. So, hospital corners. I'm gonna pull the side, pull it straight up, so there's an angle, and then tuck that in and pull that back. It's not pristine. I wouldn't pass any army inspection, but it's still, there we go. Still, it looks nice and it works. Still gives you some room for your feet. Now put the bedspread back on, and then you can get back up there then while I finish the rest of the bed. You're really dying to be up here. Silly kitty. Hi, buddy. Yep, you can get back up there now. Come on. Yep, you can come back to your spot and rest, you silly. Silly kitty. Silly Kikumi. Yep, we have all these extra pillows. We don't sleep with them, but I just like how they finish the bed and make it look. They make it look inviting and pretty. And sometimes that's important too. Plus this one, a dream big, live for the moment. It's got all these cute little sayings on it. That was actually my husband's. And then we found this one, totally, absolutely, forever. So, and this is Boo Boo Bunny. That's a gift from my husband. This is Pumpkin Spice, a gift to myself. And this is Clark from my husband for Christmas one year. So there you go. Now it's a nice fresh made bed. Yay! Look at you, now you can relax and style, Lenny. Goodness, do you see all the stuff I have out here? I'm kind of got a big mess going on here, but today I thought I would make apple crisp. It's actually my best friend's recipe that she got from her brother-in-law. He was a great cook. He passed away recently, sorry to hear, but I know he's with Jesus and that's a good thing. He's up there celebrating with my mama. He's probably playing the piano while she sings, so it's probably an amazing party and I wish I was there. But anyway, Marnie took this recipe of his and kind of tweaked it, and now I've taken it and tweaked it a little bit more. And so, yeah, I want to make some apple crisp. But first it starts with, she uses cinnamon, but what I'm going to use for my seasoning and spices is a chai mix. So, and I need some more. So I thought I'd show you first of all how to make the chai mix, and then we'll get into making the apple crisp. So in the chai mix, it's going to call for, and I think I'm going to double it, so maybe even triple it because that's a pretty good sized jar. It uses 2 tablespoons of cinnamon, so I think we'll do 6, we'll triple it. So we got our cinnamon, minimum. Then it uses 2 tablespoons of cardamom, so I'm going to need 6, and I'm going to use up a lot of cardamom. I might have to buy some more. I love cardamom. It wasn't something I was really familiar with till when we moved to Omaha. There's a little bakery called Sweet Magnolia's. It was up the street from our apartment, and they made cardamom knots. And oh my gosh, they were the best. So good. And because of it, I was like, I ought to try to learn to make those because I love cardamom. Oh, we might be having more than is in the jar, so oh well, I guess I'll have to save some for later. That's the way it goes. But anyway, Sweet Magnolia's had a cardamom knots and they were amazing. I did learn to make them on my own. I don't know if it's how they make theirs, but, and now we're adding ginger, but that started my love of cardamom. Now we're going to need cloves, which unfortunately this won't fit in a jar. The smell of cloves, something so fall about all of it. I know apple crisp is kind of a fall recipe more so than like now, a spring recipe, but oh well, it's what sounds good, so who cares. Of course, I could live in a perpetual fall, that's just the way I am, because it's my favorite season of the year. So there's cloves, and now the last is nutmeg, which I'm honestly going to go a little light on nutmeg because my husband is not really a fan of nutmeg. So I'm not going to add as much as the recipe calls for. So, yep, I probably should have just doubled it instead of tripled it. Oh well, we'll have some extra I'll store away for when that gets used up. This is a great seasoning when you want to add any place that I would want to add cinnamon to. I would totally add this in its place just for a different depth of flavor profile. Whether it was in cinnamon rolls or in pie or making a spice cake, or maybe even try it in place of cinnamon and just mix it with sugar for like a snickerdoodle. So yeah, give you a different flavor profile. And all those spices that you want to make at the store, if you have this individual spices at home, like this, you can totally make your own. Oops, looks like I'm spilling it. Oh well. See how much I use in my recipe here. 6 apples. You could do more if you wanted more apples or do less. Sometimes I do less, I only do 4 apples, so it just depends on how much you want for your ratio. I'm going to start peeling these. I think I will pour them, so I'll make it a little bit easier. Well, so much for corn, I kind of missed the core. Yeah. Yep, I kind of missed the core there, didn't I? Oh well, that was what a knife is for. Having all kinds of issues. I'm going to cut them kind of small because it's my apple crisp and I want to. It's your apple crisp. You can do yours if you want yours a little bit larger, if you want yours even smaller. You make it the way that you would like your apples to be. Personally, I like my chunks a little bit smaller so I can get more of them coated with all the spices and sugars. Okay. I'm going to add some of the seasoning to it, and the sugars to it, just to keep them from getting overly brown. So it's 1/4 cup of sugar and 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Which, by the way, I'm going to save my scoop because the crisp part also has brown sugar in it, so I'm going to need some more. So we'll just sit on that and save that. So toss this around, and now we'll add some more apples. Now, when it comes to apples, I prefer to use Red Delicious. Golden Delicious is good. It's a little more tart, so if you don't want it as sweet, like green Granny Smiths, those are good. A lot of them, you can look on the package of the apples and it will tell you if it's good for baking or good for eating, because some are good for both. Some are better for just for baking, and some are good for just eating because they become too mushy when they bake. So you kind of pay attention to what the package says, because a lot of times they'll tell you what kind of apple is a good apple to bake with. You want something that's going to hold some of its shape and not just turn to complete mush. Forget which apples it is. There's some that kind of get way too soft. I have all the apples cut up, and I've stirred in the brown sugar and the sugar, and now we're going to add the rest. So it asks for 2 tablespoons of flour. Help keep it a little bit thicker so it's not quite so runny. Because as it cooks, the juices make it a little bit more runny. You need a little bit of salt to balance out all that sugar. And then our chai mix, calls for a tablespoon of that. Goodness sakes. Okay, let's get that all stirred up. Also needs a little bit of water. Whoa, don't jump ship. I think I might like a little bit more. Having tasted that apple, I think I might like a little bit more brown sugar. Because that is the one thing about using the chai spice. The spices are really potent, which is good, but kind of cuts into some of the sugar. So it'll make it a little bit sweeter. Or it might just be these apples are a little bit more tart. Let's see. Definitely better. Okay. Now, instead of putting these in a 9x13, which is what the recipe calls for, right now I'm going to mix up the crisp. And then I will spoon it, because what I want to do is I have a bunch of little individual serving bowls of different sizes and shapes. And I want to make individual apple crisps. So when you bake it, it'll be fresh and warm. All right, now we're gonna make the crisp topping. It starts with 1 cup of butter. And of course, I'm using unsalted. Then we're gonna have 1.5 cups of brown sugar. So, we got 1.5 cups of brown sugar. And we're gonna do 1.5 cups of flour. And this is a 1/3 cup measure, and I don't wanna mess with it, so I've got a 1/2 cup measure here. I'm gonna switch out. Put that one back in there because that's the way I roll. And then we have oats, which will also be 1.5 cups. But I'm gonna mix in the flour real quick first. Now some oats. I believe these are old-fashioned oats. It's kind of what I prefer instead of quick oats. I mean, if you have quick oats, use quick oats. If you have old-fashioned, use old-fashioned. It's okay. Getting good and thick here. This is going to be our nice crumb topping on the top. So there we go. Now, it's time to set up our bowls of apple crisp. I'm going to start with these two. And put some apples on the bottom. Fill them about halfway full. If you're not using a 9x13, if you're using a 9x13, you'd put this all in the pan and then this on top. But if you're using little servings like this, then I would say fill them about halfway. Then we're going to top them with some of the crumb topping. Now, because I made them individual, what I'm going to do with the one I don't bake for tea time is I'll cover each of them with saran wrap and put them in the refrigerator. And then when you're ready to have them, pull them out, give them about maybe 10-15 minutes at room temperature, and then bake them. And you can eat them warm. Maybe top them with some ice cream. So there you go. Time for some tea time. Thank you for joining me today. I hope maybe you'll make some apple crisp. It will be super yummy. There it is, all baked. You see it kind of condensed down a little bit. We'll have my cacao coffee. Today is double chocolate because I drank up all my Highland Fog, I think is the name of it. The Highland Fog and the double chocolate, those are my two favorites. But let's dig into the apple crisp. I let it cool a little bit because it'd be hot. It will burn your mouth. Look at that, nice apples, caramely. Wow. I know it's springtime, but that just tastes like fall. And I know that's kind of got the coffee hint because it's double chocolate, but they play so well together. Yeah, if you wanted some whipped cream or maybe some ice cream, vanilla ice cream or butter burgle, it'd be really good with the apple crisp. Thank you, Marty, for sharing the recipe. And thank you, Marty, for sharing with Marty. Well, I'm glad you could join me today. I like it when you drop by and when you come visit. I hope you come back again soon and enjoy some more tea time with me. Hope you have a great week.